welcome back. And if you tuned in late today, my special guest is Alan McCalla, and he is the artistic director of the Greenville Little Theater. And we've talked a little bit about the history of the theater, and it just gets better all the time. And you have family entertainment. And now is the time to get a membership for the whole year.
You can get a membership.
And you save money when you do that.
Oh, it's a great deal. It's a great deal. And it's about like seeing like 2 free shows if you get a subscription for the whole season.
Yeah.
So, and if you can't make it one show, which we have long runs, we have a 3 weeks run. Some of them have 4 weeks run. So you have opportunities. But if something were to happen, you can give them to a friend, see a show, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Or it's a great gift. Yeah.
It is, and it's very accessible. People bring kids to the shows, and that's great. And people who may have mobility issues, it's easy to get in. It's easy parking. It's easy to get into the theater, too.
Okay, it's right downtown Greenville, Heritage
Yes, right
Green.
on Heritage Green.
Yeah, okay. Now, I know you're busy. You're getting ready to plan this coming season. Do you want to share a little bit about it?
Yes, we're working on the season, and we also want to tell you about our 2 concert shows we have coming up. Yes,
okay.
And they are good ones. They are, we actually have a group coming in, 2 groups coming in. And one are 4 guys from Ohio, and they do a Beach Boys tribute group.
Ooh.
And
when is that going to be?
You close your eyes, you think you're just right there back with the Beach Boys. And that is August 9th through the 12th. It's 4 performances only. And I'll tell you, tickets go fast. They were here about 2 years ago, and they sold out.
Okay.
They are wonderful. They have those incredible harmonies, and they are just terrific guys. They're very charming, and they pay homage to the Beach Boys and that music.
Right.
So you feel like you're back in 1962 and that.
All right. And what else?
And that T-Bird. And then we have another tribute group coming in the end of the season in May, May 3rd through the 5th, something like that, right around that time. And it's a tribute group for Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
Oh.
So if you're a fan of Jersey Boys, they give a nod to them. But this is a group comes in with a big band and these guys that do all that incredible vocal work and tight harmonies of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. And this an incredible show, an amazing show. Two amazing tribute shows. And one at the beginning of the season, August, with the Beach Boys, and one with Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons at the end of the season in May.
Well, you can't go wrong, you know, with a membership. And you do save money by buying a membership because you have the whole season. And well, if you wait and go just get a ticket for one performance,
you can. It's still a lot less expensive than some places like the Peace Center or somewhere like that. But so it's a great deal anyway. But boy, a subscription is a great deal. And
you auditioned. You have a lot of talent to draw from.
Yes, we do.
And young people. It gives young people a chance that they wouldn't otherwise have.
It does. And we do a lot of things for young people. We also do, we have 2 shows for young audiences, theater for young audiences, which is really geared toward children. And
when is that?
Well, we have 2. One goes throughout the school year. We tour a show to schools throughout the upstate.
You go actually physically into the schools?
We do. We have a big van with our poster design all over it, and we pile 6 or 7 actors into that van with a set and with costumes, and they drive up to an hour and a half away. We'll go as far as, say, Columbia, and we go into Georgia and North Carolina and everything in between, and all over the upstate. Last year we did over 100 performances in schools across the upstate. And this year we're doing Junie B. Jones is Not a Crook, which is a delightful, moralistic, very fun story that a lot of kids read the Junie B. Jones books. They're terrific for young people. They're geared toward elementary school age kids. And the show's about 45 minutes long, and we go into schools and do a talk back afterward. We also provide study guides, and for people who aren't at a school, we do in the spring, we do a production in-house at the theater. It's in April this year, I believe, and there'll be a weekend of that, so people could be on the lookout for that, so we see families coming to see that as well.
You are one busy man.
We are, and then we do a young audience show at Christmas time, which is always a hit. This will be our 6th year of doing this, and this is a charming play with a great story and a great moral, and it's called All I Want for Christmas Is My Two Front Teeth. And it runs in rep with It's a Wonderful Life. So it's running some on Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights, and some during the mornings, and it's on Saturday morning and a Saturday matinee. So families can come to see that.
That's lovely. I'm amazed at the things that you produce, because you can go to the Greenville Little Theater and you walk out and you think you've been to Broadway.
Well, I appreciate that. And a lot of people say that.
It's
and
very true. Yeah. The professionalism. Mm-hmm. And I love the idea that you give, especially young people, a chance, because there are a lot of talented people.
Well, we have, in every show we do, well, not every one of them, but things coming up. You may see, I'm thinking of like 2 last year, at least 3 last year, and then 2 or 3 this year, that there'll be kids who are 10 years old to 12 years old, something like that, and they'll have big parts in the show. And then they'll be in the same show with someone who may be, an old guy like me, 60 years old or so, and everybody in between. So what's great is you'll see high school students alongside, 40-somethings who love musical theater or love theater, and it's a great balance.
Now, the memberships, the tickets are on sale now, right?
Yes, they are.
For the box office and for the whole year.
For the whole year, yes.
And now is the time. This solves your problem. If you're worried about what a birthday gift, a Christmas present, an anniversary present, to give somebody something they can enjoy for a whole year. And
yes,
it's a joy.
And
it
you might
really
just
is.
get hooked, because we have people who have been coming to our theater for 50 years. And
all right,
they
you
end
just
up
said
bringing their kids.
the
Yes.
magic word, 50 years. Let's talk about the history a little bit of the Greenville Little Theater.
I'd love to, because 93 years is a long time. And you just think back to 1926, when this area was very different than it is now,
yeah.
Very rural. And people got together and said they wanted to have a theater of our own, which, at that time, you had to go to New York to see a play, or you might get Sarah Bernhardt or somebody passing by on the train who might stop and perform somewhere every once in a while. So it became a movement in that kind of era there, the 20s, and it was called the Little Theater movement. And that's why there's so many theaters that are called little theaters, like the Spartan Little Theater,
okay.
Florence Little Theater.
But not many of them measure up to the one we have.
Well, I appreciate that. But that group got together and they started shows in the 20s, and they first performed at the Greenville Women's College, which a lot of people don't know much about that, but my grandmother graduated from the Greenville Women's College, and it's on the site of Heritage Green. It was on the site of Heritage Green, and there's a picture right there of the Ramsey Fine Arts Center building, and that was where they had a large auditorium in there, and that was where the first performances were held for the Greenville Theater back in 1926.
Think about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the pictures actually look pretty good.
Okay.
So there's always been high production values, I'll say, at our theater. But it was in spaces like that for several years through the 20s and 30s in Greenville.
Yeah.
And then even performed, as some of the old Greenville people will know, the Carolina Movie Theater that was downtown. They performed in there, performed some at Greenville High School Auditorium. And there's actually one picture up they have right now, and that is one of those pictures in the corner there is of the 12-Pound Lock, which was one of the first productions at the Greenville Theater. But we bounced around for years there, but in the 40s, the theater, we found a home, a new theater, built a theater out on Lowndes Hill Road. And that was the home for about 20 years.
And then you moved downtown.
Yes, and you know all about that. Because in 1967, the Women's College was torn down and merged with Furman and moved out in the 50s. Yeah. And so that left that campus empty
Heritage
downtown.
Green came alive.
And that's
the
the idea was,
the art museum.
Let's keep this to be a cultural campus. And the theater was the first one that went in, and we went in where that Ramsey Fine Arts Center was. And that's where our theater is now. And then the library came shortly afterward, and then the art museum. And now we're up to 6. We've grown, and it's 6 great institutions there on Heritage Green.
Yeah, and it's easy parking, and there's so much we have to be grateful for in this
Absolutely.
area.
Yes, yes,
And you're
indeed.
getting ready now for a big season.
Yes, we are.
And this is the time for people to think about getting ready.
Planning.
Planning and getting a membership. And your very first production begins when?
Well, I'll tell you, we have our Beach Boys concert coming up shortly. You know, it's just around the corner.
Yeah.
It's August 9th through the 12th, and tickets are on sale now, and they are wonderful. They are a real treat, and tickets go fast. But then Joseph runs in September. So Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat is a real family treat, and so
And that starts September 7th.
yes, indeed,
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
Right after Labor Day.
And the nice thing is that these productions are all done more than just one weekend, so that if somebody's out of town or they're busy and they can't, you've got a chance to go.
Yeah, Joseph, you'll have 4 weeks to choose from,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of Sunday matinees,
Yeah.
and some Saturdays for some shows.
Yeah.
And because we have a lot of people coming in from Anderson or
And
the
people who
Lake
don't
area.
like to drive at night, you've got a matinee, so people can enjoy it.
Yep. You
You've
get
thought
my
of
age.
everything,
you get my
Alan.
age, you don't want to drive at night anymore.
Yeah, so you've thought of everything.
Yeah, then we
You've
did.
got it all.
Well, we tried.
You've got it all. And I wanted people to meet you and talk a little bit about your experience. And you're a hometown boy.
Yes, I am. I am. I grew up here. I was born in Greenville.
Yeah.
when
And
I was-
how did you, before we're out of time, how did you arrive at the point where you are now? Have you always been involved in theater and interested?
No, I wasn't. But I'll tell you, the first play I ever saw was out on Lowndes Hill Road at the Greenville Little Theater. And a friend of mine's mother was playing the Wicked Witch in Sing Ho for a Prince, and a show for young audiences. And then I had friends who were involved at Greenville High School, and I was impressed by what they did. And then I went off to Wofford College, and I got bit by the bug and got very interested in it there with Jim Gross and his terrific program there at Wofford College. And then I went and studied in New York, and I ended up...
You came back home.
It's a circuitous route, but I ended up back home. And there, they've got some great pictures up. Our theater has an illustrious history. Joanne Woodward has performed at our theater. Of course, she's from Greenville and was a Greenville High School student. And James Whitmore performed at our theater. Will Rogers USA, Eileen Heckert did Eleanor Roosevelt one-woman show. And it's a rich history at our theater. And we embrace our history of our theater and really of this whole area, and try to connect with the whole area and our entire community.
Well, there's something there for everyone. And it's good, decent, clean entertainment. You will never find something that's offensive. And it's a great idea for a gift. But musicals, a mystery, good plays, there's something there for everyone. And now is the time to think about it.
Absolutely.
Get your membership for the coming year for the Greenville Little Theater. You'll never go wrong. Thank you, Alan. Bless you. Thank you for coming.
Peggy.
Good luck.
Always a treat.
Alan McCalla, who is the artistic director of our Greenville Little Theater. And wherever you are, stay happy. We'll see you next time.